Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible because not only is it supposed to rain, we're supposed to have cold weather coming through. And I share it with you all because we're in Georgia Zone 8A that about a week and a half ago, we had temperatures upper 70, lower 80s. And I always say the Easter snap, like don't start putting out a lot of things because I suspected that we would get more cold weather. And so it's supposed to rain. They said overnight, but you could tell it's been raining. Tuesday it's supposed to get down to 28, 31, so below freezing. But what I'm going to show you today, because remember I shared with y'all, we are starting to plant early spring, and I'm just going to do it in parts. So part one today is going to be the raised beds. I'll show you everything that we've planted. Yesterday, I was actually trying to work on the rose garden, and I came out here this morning and I was like, I could tell I'm getting things done, but it still seems like it's just so much to do. And I've overplanted and I've overbought. So don't do what I do. Okay. But let me show you the raised beds. I'll give you all a little bit of history. So we have a total of 8 4 by 8 by 2 raised beds in the garden. So they're 4 feet wide, 8 feet long, 2 feet in height. And then we have 2 L-shaped beds, raised beds, but I won't be showing y'all that today because that's part of what I consider the herb garden. If you're new to the way I plant, I do like to put flowers, vegetables, herbs together, and you'll see that in a second. And if you want to follow us along on our gardening journey this season, be sure to hit that subscribe button. So let's start with the very first bed that we pulled. And I have been showing y'all little bits and pieces, but we're going to do a full one today. And so in the front, we have violas. We have some kale. Now, these were fall planted kale. They were planted somewhere else, and I moved them. And I won't be surprised if the kale bolts and starts to produce seeds because these are fall planted. I'll show you in a second. We just planted some spring planted kale in the raised beds. We have red cabbage. We also have collards in the back. Now, although it's not a lot of pest pressure in this bed, I do see a couple of spaces that I'm going to be watching. And it's no need for me right now to put diatomaceous earth on because I have been putting them on the raised beds once I plant them because we are scheduled for rain. It's actually drizzling right now. And the same thing for these purple kale. I expect if they bolt and go to seed, these were fall planted as well. And then what we did to this bed is we moved a couple of things around, and then we added some color, the violas, and then we also added, no, this was here, the French thyme is right here, and then I started some oregano from seed. And over here is the chives. Chives are perennial, so they're going to come back every year. But we have those that are starting to put on like new chives as well. So this was the very first bed to get us started. And right in the middle is the snapdragons. And these are, I think it's supposed to be like a hot pink. But again, hit the subscribe button because I know I got like hot pink, regular pink, and yellow. So here is the next raised bed that we planted, and we just have some beets in the back. This is like a 5 variety beet, just different ones. And y'all stick with me because I want to share with you some beets that I actually had to read up on because most of the time I'll plant like the Detroit beets blood or bull beets, and I got that in the ground. But this was a new variety, and I saw, and I was like, let me do some research on that, and I'll share with you what is different about these beets. But here we have different color violas. The alyssum, I was so glad to be able to get my hand on some. This is a plant that just really gives off a sweet scent in the garden, and I got 2 more I gotta find a place to plant. snapdragons again, but let me share with you, like, I was starting to get upset, but it took about 2 weeks because I was gonna get on here and I was gonna get to talking because one season I tried to germinate these, and y'all, I'm really good with germinating seeds. I have to pat myself on the back because there's certain things you have to do, and I'll try to link that video with the nasturtium. Like, you don't have to do it, but it kind of helps. But I pride myself in being able to start seeds, even some of the ones that they say are hard. And so when I didn't see any germination, I was like, I'm going to tell the people, but I'm going to tell y'all the good news. So I have to get really close because if you remember this section, it looks bare, but I had the bunching onion seed tape, and I kept coming out here. It's something about when you direct sow, or even when you start seeds, like, I expect a quick germination. And so I was coming out here for like a week, and I was like, okay, I'm keeping the area moist. I'm doing all the things. Why aren't they germinating? And I mean, it was a little, nighttime temperatures were a little bit cooler, but I wanted to see them germinating because it was during a period where it was warm enough for them to germinate. But I'm going to get really close because they really are starting to, they're starting to germinate. These are the, I think they're called parade bunching onions. So this was the seed tape because I was just telling someone there's certain things in the garden you don't like to do, and thinning is one I'm not a fan of, but it has to be done. But the seed tape kind of helps eliminate that. Maybe not all the way, but it does really help out with having to thin your seedlings. So this is this bed right here, and I put the lemon thyme on the end just because, I mean, you could eat this, you could use it, but I just like the variegation of it, and it smells really good. And then we have like some more viola pansies types that we really need to come in here and deadhead, but we will not be doing that today. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say these are the yellow snapdragons, because I tried to do like pink, yellow, and I think the back is just straight pink. Let's go to this one right here. This was the last one that I planted, and I was like, what is going on with these snapdragons? I couldn't figure it out. So yesterday, because this was the last bed we planted, and when I tell y'all, I came out here and I wet everything really good, and I was like, what is going on? But I came out here yesterday evening, and when I tell y'all, I soaked it. So seems like what I thought they were watered well in, they needed some more because I had just planted them. And so that's why I want to say sometimes it can seem like your plants are going through like transplant shock, but just keep an eye on it. And that's what I was doing. And now they look so much better. So this is the light pink snapdragons, kind of like with a little yellow in here. The oregano, you know, every few years I try to get like a fresh or new oregano, meaning I pull up the plant because sometimes it could get woody. And so we put the Italian oregano in fall. Y'all know I had to go back and watch one of my videos because I did not, or I had not labeled it, and I was like, I got to go back and watch the video. So this is the Italian oregano. These are fall planted onions that we started from seed inside last year. And actually I need to come through and put bone meal. I had to think about the colors in my head. Bone meal, because that helps the onions bulb up. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to put some bone meal on here, and then we have more violas in the front. This is cabbage, and the reason why they look like this is because this was the last bed and I had just put a lot of diatomaceous earth, but remember, when it rains it's gonna wash away, so I'm gonna have to reapply it. But I put it like over everything. And then this is the Greek oregano here that we planted on this corner. And from my experience with the Greek and Italian oregano, Greek can seem to run or spread, like run more, and the Italian oregano for me is a little bit more upright. The nasturtiums that we started from seed, I went ahead and planted those as well. And then I saw some celery starts. and I just said, let me just try them. We're gonna plant those. So the whole back row is the celery, and so we have, once again, our flowers, our vegetables, our herbs. So we have oregano, celery, cabbage, snapdragons, onions, nasturtiums, and violas in this bed. Okay, so directly across, we have planted some romaine lettuce. This is the spring planted kale, the curly kale. We have a row of that, and more snapdragon, more nasturtiums, and I want to say these are collards in the back, and then that one onion right there. I remember trying to figure out what am I going to do with that. I put some in the raised bed and some in the in-ground bed, but I share it with you all sometimes, and because it's spring, and because I know here in Georgia, zone 8A is going to, although seem like spring, it will get hot. And so I planted a lot of our leafy greens really close together, because it's not my intention to let them like go to maturity, but to leaf off of them and use them until it gets too hot, and then we have to pull it. So I put a lot of things closer because I'm going to be leafing off of it. Here's one of our earlier beds that we planted, also chives on the end. At first, I was not feeling this golden yellow, but when I walk in through the fence, this is like the first color that hits my eye. It's like, hey, I'm here, look at me. And so we got more of the dark pink snapdragons, collards in the back, red cabbage in the front. This was a time that we planted in the fall. It does more of a mounding shape. To be honest, y'all, I just got this for beauty purposes, like because I thought it was pretty, because it kind of mounds. And then we also have French thyme over here, and this is the one that I really cook with. Like if you want to know the truth, we cook with the French thyme. We got some romaine lettuce growing that I'm going to leaf off as well. But this one over here, I don't know. I'm a little sad about it because I don't know what's going on with it. Like it started looking a little sad, then it got sadder, and now it's looked like it's at its saddest. So we'll pull that, and I don't think I have any more lettuce, but that's okay, child. I'll find something. I promise y'all, I'll find something to put in there. But this just happens when you garden. Like, it's not to say that everything you put in your beds is going to make it. Some are going to struggle, like I shared with you about the snapdragons. Some of them are going to go through transplant shock, but I don't know what was going on with this one, because both of these two were looking a little sad, and this one seems like it's coming back, but this one I don't think it's going to make it. And I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time trying to figure it out, because it looks like it's almost about to check out anyway. This is also another one of my favorite beds. Like, all of them are my favorites, but some of them, like when I look at the combinations and the colors of it, because y'all know purple is my favorite color and my favorite flower color. I just love it. The only thing I'm missing, and they might not be ready in time, is the salvia. So the salvia is like a purple spikes, and they just started to emerge. And I shared with y'all on a short, I had to be careful about this bed and the other bed that I'll show you, because the soil level had dropped, and I needed to bring the soil level back up on the raised beds. But I had to wait until the salvia emerged enough, because I didn't want to cover it with the compost, the layer of compost, and then it doesn't emerge at all. So I waited until spring, until the salvia came back up. And it's still some leaves that are probably got covered, but it was enough to where they could like still emerge. But they really produce some really beautiful purple spikes that the pollinators absolutely love. This is our Asian blend that we grow every spring and fall. It's a really nice blend. I always share with y'all, like, you really don't have to settle for what's at the grocery store. Like, when you grow your own, the flavors of the different lettuces is so much better, and I'll show you like one of my favorite. Like if I were to make this, I would put some spinach that were growing in there, and then one of my favorites that I was not introduced until I actually stayed in Italy, and it's become one of like my favorite lettuces. But the violas are right here, and then the pak choi. If you look down, I had to put a lot of Sluggo Plus in here because it started off when I put them in there. I started seeing pest damage on this one over here, and then they kind of went over here. Now, I'm not saying it's no pest damage left, but yeah, I kind of went crazy with the Sluggo Plus because I'm like, y'all are not going to get started. It ain't even got hot yet. Just calm yourself down and go somewhere else. And so we have some alyssum on this end, and then some chives that are right here. And I've shared this with y'all before. Sometimes when you buy plant starts, look to see if there's like multiple plants in one cup. That was the case with the chives. So one chive cup had like 3. They were separate, but they had 3. And so I went ahead, split them very, very carefully. That's 1 right here, 2 right here, and the other one that I just showed you, I was just careful with it, and they are coming back. So that's this bed right here. And again, the salvia probably won't get blooming time, but it's just still a really pretty bed to me. Here's one of our lettuces that we started from seed. This is like one of my favorites to add in a salad blend, and that is the arugula. This, like if you want a little mustard peppery bite, not hot, because y'all know I don't do hot, you need to use some arugula. And then we have collards back here, more snapdragons, and then this alyssum is the one that I keep smelling. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's just so pretty. I was so happy to find that. Now, here is also green onions, but this is what I have to be careful of because y'all know I said I had a love-hate relationship with the straw mulch, but for the cost effectiveness of it, I still use it in our raised beds. But I have green onions, if y'all can see, that are popping up, but we also have like the straw seeds from the mulch that is popping up. And normally I don't like to pull it like really small because when I pull it, I want it to be kind of big to where I could pull the whole root up. So I let it get a certain size, and I already see them germinating. See, these are not green onions. This is from the straw mulch, but I let them get a little bit bigger and pull them up. But what I'm really going to have to be careful about is this is seed tape 2, and I also have my green onions that are coming up as well. And so we got more oregano that is right here, and then our more kale right here as well in this bed. All right, so this is our last bed, and make sure you stay till the end. I'll put some pictures up here and different things like that of the garden beds, but this is spinach that we have right here. And remember, I told you these were like fresh beets or something like this, and I did some reading and research on them, and it said, and we'll see, that they're mainly grown for the leaves, not necessarily like a beetroot. That's kind of like some turnips that I grow, where it's grown for the leaves, not necessarily the turnip root. And so when you see a lot of mixed salads, you may see those beet leaves in here. So this is a great way to like just do a mixed salad, especially when you're growing it with a whole bunch of things. And so this type of lettuce, this type of beets, so we got a row right here, and then we got a row right here. So these type of beets are predominantly for just being able to add to like your mixed salad. More salvia, we had to bring that soil level up. These are a viola right here. They're really pretty. They're like a pink and white, and I got to come in and deadhead. And then we have iceberg lettuce, more spinach. This right here that I saw that has come away from there, but that's okay. You can probably see these a little bit better on that side, kind of like a pink and white. And then y'all can tell I had like a couple more lettuces that I needed to place, and so we had 2 more we needed to place, so we just put them right here. and then we just have like a whole bunch of lettuces. So we got a lot of lettuces and we got a lot of leafy greens, which are great for early spring here in Georgia Zone 8A and in the fall. Okay, so the rain is starting to pick up a little bit. I hope you all enjoyed part 1 of the garden tour. This was just the raised beds. Now, again, hit the subscribe button because we're going to have part 2, which is either going to be the herb garden or it's either going to be the in-ground beds or the containers. So it seems like to me we'll probably have about 4 parts. And we're going to split them up like that so that it's not very long. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, tap the subscribe button. Make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching. And until the next video, bye-bye.